greed, jealousy, anger, control or dominion over others, lack, limitations, spite, resentment, vengeance. Unfortunately, we still live in a world where greed rules, self control, image, how I look in front of others, intimidation of those that we feel have life better than us. But there is something we can do about that. Because just as sure as human beings create this dark cycle of all of the concepts I just mentioned, all of the words I just mentioned, we can interrupt or intercept that cycle of pain and darkness in the world by creating a generational love cycle, by choosing to love instead of hate, to forgive instead of holding resentment, and to allow people to be who they are, fulfilling their divine purpose, living a life of joy and peace. Because every day of our lives is a gift. This is Tamika Chambers with Create a Generational Love Cycle. And as I have said before on this podcast, that yes, I see a generational cycle of pain. Many have recognized it, where we inflict our wounds, unhealed wounds, on the next generation. Whether it's abuse out of anger, jealousy, resentment that we didn't live our lives the way that we wanted to live them. And so we project our desires, our unlived life onto others, our anger and frustration on our children. And they then too carry that anger and frustration to their children and to the next generation. Even if they don't have children, it's the people that come into their lives that get a taste of that pain, that frustration that lives within them. For this year, 2022, the whole thought is about taking our life back, where we have given power, where we have given over to others' opinions about how we should live our life, what we should eat, what we should drink, as if we don't know within us, the truth within us of exactly what our body likes, what it thrives on, the nutrients, the greens, the vegetables, plant-based foods, a variety of stuff, things that we like. And it's not so much the food that gets us in trouble when we talk about weight and we talk about diabetes and we talk about other conditions associated with it. It's our mindset that we have about food. It is our mindset that we have about life. It is our mindset that we have about the experiences that we have, that we go to soothe ourselves with food and other external factors. My mother has been very instrumental in giving her children life lessons. That throughout our lives, I saw a humble woman sharing her experiences with pain, sharing her experiences, embarrassing experience, so that we could have a better life than her. And I believe that is the mindset of every parent that we should have, is that how can my children have a better life than me? Not in one in riches and in fame, but in one in character and morals. Because when you're doing right, as my mom said, when you're doing right, right things will come. And the Bible tells us those who are doing good will bear good fruit. And so one of the things that my mom often told us is that what is for you, you will get. And that's what this episode is about. What is for you, you will get. And so often we think about, oh, I don't have this, and we covet our neighbors or what this other business is doing. And we know that's one of the things that is written in the Ten Commandments, to not covet. And it's not more than just, it's more than just your neighbor's wife, but the belongings that others have. That we feel like there's not enough, so I need to go steal, kill, and destroy what someone else has or someone else so that I can have what they have. I need to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so that so I can provide for my family. That even though I used to take care of patients, clients, when I was doing disease management, and they would say, I would talk to them about their heart disease, their other health conditions, and they would say, I have to be at work because I am the provider for my family. And I understand that. I get that. I have a family. And the stresses of being able to provide for them food, shelter, the basic necessities. My mom did it as a single parent, and I saw her frustration at times, but I also saw her joy. And I also saw her faith that God will provide. When you take care of your children, God will provide. And so, how can we disrupt this greed, this resentment, this bitterness, intimidation, the wearing of our bodies? Is that finding out, who do we have our faith in? Where does our faith come from? When we believe, when we are like, okay, I have to do all this. Are we believing in ourselves or something greater than ourselves? Because human beings, we run out of energy, just like a car runs out of gas. We run out of energy, fuel, when we don't eat the way we should, give enough fuel, vitamins and minerals, nutrients to our body. We don't sleep the way we should. And I know some people feel like, it's exaggeration. We really don't need 7, 8 hours of sleep. But you know how you feel when you haven't had restful sleep. You're in increased risk of developing anxiety and worrying and not thinking straight. So if you really take a look at what your body does after you do things, what are those symptoms that your body gives you? What are those symptoms that you're probably even denying? That we're forgetting what is important to us. The family concept, and caring and raising our children on morals, on understanding that every life matters. No matter your race, color, religion, culture, no matter what, every life matters. And listening to our children read and being there to hear their stories, their revelations, their insights, and knowing what's going on in school as a parent, and being there available for them. And whatever we don't learn, we know we are capable. We know we're capable of learning. When my son brought home a math question, in second grade, and he had this math assignment, and I became stumped with one of the questions. I told the teacher I wasn't sure what the question was asking or how to solve it. And then I had to think about, I have whatever I need, I have access to. I believe everything that we need, we have access to. And so when I did not receive the response that I wanted, or felt like, there was some how the response came across, I went home, I Googled the math concept, I came straight to it. And I was able to not only understand it for myself, but I also understood it for my children, my son. And he did the problem. And I informed the teacher that we got it. That I remember one of the principals telling me that we don't give our children homework because the parents didn't want it, because many don't have that education. And I think as parents, we go beyond what we didn't have to get what we need to take care of the children that we have. That when we do the things that we're supposed to do with our children. Love them, protect them, guide them. And when I say love, I'm saying we're being the vehicle of love, of our Father's love, of our Creator's love. When we love them unconditionally and we try our best, our very best, to seek guidance and direction in how to raise our children, that we listen to them, that we have compassion, that we're not asking, what's wrong with you? Why don't you get this? Our children are just that. They're children. Their minds evolve just like ours. And it takes time for them to learn the information. And as parents, we're more than just their providers. We are their teacher. We are their mentor. We are their coach. We are who they look up to often, to show the way, to guide them. And when we choose anything over our children, when we choose to get ahead, when we choose to grab and take, to demoralize with name calling, stupid, racial names, when we do that, we are showing our children the way, if you will, they should go. And that is not the Bible, the meaning of the verse. When we show people our children the way they should go, it's in reminding them that they are of love. And love does not hate. Love does not resent or seek vengeance. Love does not seek control over others. But love is freedom. And when people are free, they want others to be free, to live their life the way they are supposed to. And when we're doing what we're supposed to do, there is a faithful presence that I call God, that is there to provide, to guide, to direct. That we don't have to beat ourselves up or beat others up to enjoy this lifetime. That somehow that message of living life got misinterpreted. That is not about dominion of others, but in helping people to be free and helping people to fulfill their divine purpose in life. And our children have a purpose. They are here for divine reasons. And they deserve as much love and as guidance as we do. As adults, protection. So as you rise each day, who are you living for? How can you be the example of love, of truth, of light for your children? That when we take the necessary time to do what is right for our family, for the generations to come, that it all will work out. Can we trust? Can we trust that there is something out there that wants the best for us, to give us a hope and a future? As in Jeremiah 29:11. Will we believe? And when we believe, we can move mountains. We can move people to say yes, to people to see the truth, for people to work with us instead of against us, to see that there are no competitions outside in the world, that the only thing that we are doing is trying to be better than we were the previous day, than we were a minute ago, 2 seconds ago. With Create a Generational Love Cycle, we look beyond what we see and become the people that God created us to be. We are strong, we are resilient, we are powerful. We don't need to stumble over others or cause a stampede and run over others just to get where we need to go. But we can lift a hand up And we can all reap the harvest of not competition, but teamwork. Because we all want the same thing underneath, to feel valued, to feel loved, to feel appreciated, to feel important. And we can do it together and not apart. Check out my recent podcast on the principles that my mother taught us. Give from the heart. If people have tongues, they will talk. But today I focused on what is for you, you will get. And you'll hear stories of people saying, when I just stopped and I was still and I thought, things started to unravel themselves. We don't have to lose our children to suicide, to homicide, to violence, to drug use, but we can be there for them and be the parents that we didn't have or need to be in order to have the future that we deserve, that our children deserve and our children's children deserve. This is Tamika Chambers with Create a Generational Love Cycle. Make this lifetime great because you still can.